Hello and welcome, I'm Tim and this is SV Paquita. And you might say, what is going on? Well, boy, so much has happened since we last talked. Remember we were getting beat up on our way to Marbella? We never made it in there. I'll tell you about that in a second. Hey, you know what? I'll tell you about that now. So we left in the morning and we did an inquiry on Navali, and it popped back and said, yep, we're working on everything. Be all set to have a birth for you, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
I keep going, and we knew that by the time, an hour or two before we got to Marbella, it would get really nasty, and it did. You guys saw some of that. And then we go to pull in, and the marina says, oh yeah, we don't have any room for you. I think what happened is that they didn't want us coming in because it was blowing so hard, and they didn't want us banging around in the marina, so they denied us. And so we're like, we wouldn't have left if we knew we couldn't get in here. So we just said the hell with it, and we just continued on. There was another marina down the way, but Bob and I didn't like the looks of that one. It was open to all the wind and all that, and so we just kept going. And so instead of being all secure at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we tacked back and forth in 30 knots of wind, and we got all the way up to Estepona. And we got in here, and by that time the wind had let go. It was down to 10 or 15, so it was nice. We came in here, and we had a wonderful night. Went right to bed, and it was great, wonderful here. But we didn't put any of the boat away in the morning. So I make dinner, I make breakfast and coffee and yada, yada, yada. Chrysalida's cleaning up the outside. She's putting away everything on deck and hosing everything down. When we get to a marina, we use their hose and wash the boat down and wash all the salt off everything. And she finds something right over here. So hang on, let me just pan this camera around slowly so that you don't yell at me. But if you look, there's Bob. He's on the phone with his mother like a good boy. But if you notice, he's got Lilo sleeping in his arm. He's got a beer beside him because he's celebrating because we just got done. So let me show you what we got done with. I have this stuff in a bag so I can get this. This is what Chryssalida found on deck.
You woke him up. He thought you were getting crisps out there.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. Go on.
Anyway, so when she found, Bob and I heard a pop, and we were like, what was that? We don't know. So we kept sailing. Anyway, Chryssalida found this on deck. We went down and we looked and we found...
What's going on here? That's let you go.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim.
Bye.
Anyway, he's talking to his mom and I'm making a video. Sorry, Mrs. Bob, you're going to have to wait. But anyway, this is some of the pieces that used to look like. Now it's starting to make sense, right? There's a pin that goes through here. Let me show you what happened. So, in the back of this, hopefully you can see this. I'm not looking there, but hopefully you can see it. There should be 2 shivs here. And right now there's probably only one. The one that went and does the outhaul, that's to pull, see this right here? This pulls the sail out. That's the one that broke. The other one is for what they call the topping lift. That's this line that goes up like this, and it lifts up the boom. If you notice, I have the topping lift is loose right now because I have the extra halyard holding it up. I can't see what I just filmed there, and there's a lot of sun, so I don't know how much of that you saw. But the good news is that despite the fact of this dissimilar metals, stainless steel and aluminum together with some what we call weasel piss there, the penetrating fluid, a drift pin, and a couple dead blow hammers, we were able to get that out and switch one shiv over to the other. And if you say, well, wait a minute, now what are you going to do? The topping lift, you just adjust that every once in a while and you leave it be. And with our extra halyard, we don't even need it at all. And you could still use it because it's not like you're moving it up and down. You set it and then you set it and forget it, basically. There are some people that might race and they change it all the time. I don't do that. What I do is when the topping lift is loose, it goes up and it hits a wire, and the wire goes bang, bang, bang on the backstays, and it drives me crazy. And so I tighten it up just so that it won't do that banging around. So we're set for now. We're trying to locate another Shiv, and like Bob said, there's 2 of them there. They've been there since 2002, and so when we replace one, we really should replace 2. I think that's a good idea. And probably buy 3, so I'd have 1 extra, so if it ever breaks, I have another one ready to go. And unfortunately, there are 2 chandeliers and a rigger right here in Estepona. And it is Saturday. Remember, we got in 7:30 last night on Friday night. And it's Saturday, and apparently when we went to the office to make sure that everything was fine from last night, and they said, yeah, well, how can we help you to get what you need? And we said, oh yeah, you can do all that. They also have a hydro lift over there that I'd like to talk to them about, seeing how much it would cost to haul the boat out to pressure wash the bottom. But apparently there's some sort of local festival, and the whole town is closed down for a 3-day weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. So there's not going to be any wind today or tomorrow, and we figure we have to motor the 30 miles to Gibraltar. So we paid for another night so we can relax here. Chrysalida's doing laundry, and I think that what we're going to do is leave first thing tomorrow and just plan on motoring to Gibraltar. And then in the good weather, we'll fill up with, hopefully Gibraltar has that really cheap fuel, and really top up with fuel there. And the way the weather looks right now, the earliest we could leave would be Wednesday. So meaning from Gibraltar to the Canaries. And that's subject to change. There's a system that we have. It looks like we might be able to just get around this one system, but as we get closer, that the odds of that, or whether or not that's going to work or not, we'll be able to dial that in as we get closer. And when I say we go to Gibraltar, it'll actually be Gibraltar where we get fuel, but we're probably going to try to make reservations at a place called La Línea, which means the line in Spanish, and it's the line between Gibraltar and Spain. And there's a little place there, and there is a marina that's supposed to be 17 euros a night. Anyway, we enjoyed it. If you remember the last time we were in Gibraltar, my buddy Mark Foley came, and we had my friend Chris was over there, and Runa, and we all went, and Rick, and we all went and saw the monkeys and the World War II exhibits and all that. And so it'd be nice to get to Gibraltar. And now we have a new reason to go, because I have a really good feeling we were able to find almost everything we needed in Gibraltar, because it's such a sailing hub. So I got a feeling that when we get there, we'll have all kinds of chances to get the Shivs that we need. Like I say, that's going to make me feel a lot better too if I replace both of them. Like I say, the topping lift one's probably never been used, but the plastic is just as old, so might as well replace both of those and then have another one as a spare, so if it ever breaks again. So kind of feel really happy that I'm really glad that Bob was on here. Bob, there's something that I've tried to talk about before, and that's that some people that maybe are new to sailing, or who have had a boat but they had the yard do all the work on it and then they want to go cruising. I'm a firm believer that if you're going to go anywhere, even if you're going to, not even like the South Pacific, if you're going to, you go, what is that noise? Oh, I think he turned the fan on. It must be hitting the thing. There's a funny noise that's happening. But anyway, if you're going to go anywhere, even in the Mediterranean, where you can get almost anything that you want here, and there's all kinds of places that do all kinds of work, there's tons of boats here, all that sort of stuff. Even so, if you don't know how to do the work yourself, and you're not willing to do it yourself, your schedule is definitely going to be messed up. If you had to wait for somebody, I think about, it took me so long to get my Frankenstein water maker. It's a bunch of different parts from a bunch of different water makers. When I finally got that to work, it's been working so well, knock, knock, knock. But in the process of getting it to work, I don't think there's anyone on the planet that knows that water maker as well as I do, because I've been in and out of it so many times. And that, I'm not trying to brag saying that. I'm saying that when I go to the South Pacific and something goes wrong, I won't have to wait for somebody. I won't have to get to Tahiti to find somebody that knows how to work on a spectral water maker. I have it myself. And I think that that's the case with most of the things on the boat. So I was starting to say, those that have bought a boat and now they want to go cruising, some people say, well, you know, I took Nigel's diesel repair online course. And you know what? I love education. I think continuing education is a great thing, and we should always be learning and always trying to better ourselves. But reading how to do something or even watching a video of it on TV, on YouTube is one thing, and actually doing it's another. You might know how to pull a mixing elbow off, or maybe a heat exchanger off the side of your engine. You know which bolts to do, and you know how to do that. And you've seen a million videos, and you've read the books, and it's easy, it's straightforward, you have all the right tools. And that job, when you break one bolt, let alone break every single one of them, you're going to wish that you had somebody who had done this 1,000 times before you. Just watching Bob work on this, let me show you over here. You know, if I get on this side of moving the camera too fast, I apologize. I'm really trying to, somebody keeps telling me to stop moving the camera so fast, and I keep saying, yeah, I'm working on it. I try to, but I get kind of excited. Anyway, let me step down here, come over here. You see that silver plate right there? That's a plate that there's a pin that goes through there, and the pin has knurls, I don't know what they call it, but it's where it's like driven in, and then you hit the aluminum and it squeezes around there, so that stainless pin is there. But anyway, those are stainless bolts, and it's all aluminum. So we obviously Tef gelled everything when we put it back together, but to take it out, it was a nightmare. And it was a joy watching Bob, where I was like, Bob, should we just like get the heat torch, you know, the heat wrench, the smoke wrench, and get those things glowing red hot and back them out? He goes, well, let's try this first. We'd put some of the krill oil on there first, let it soak in. Anyway, he does this thing where he works it forward and then works it back, and then works it forward and works it back, and keeps doing that. He was able to get them all out, so God bless him. But that's one of those things where, like I say, I think that I had, before Bob came, I had the knowledge to be able to do everything we did. But I probably would have broken off every one of those screws, and it's so much nicer to have somebody else do it with you, and then you do it with them, and then you see how they do it, and you learn how to do it right. So just because you watch a video or you read a book or take a course online or whatever it is, if you haven't done the job a whole bunch of times, you probably don't know. You don't have the muscle memory. You know, you won't see a lot of mechanics using torque wrenches. I'm not talking about when you're torquing down a head, but like, you know, when you're torquing things down, they know how much to push. They know how much it's going to pull before they snap a head off a bolt. You and I don't. We break those things, and it makes an easy job become very, very difficult. And so it's really great having Bob on board, not only for having him be young and flexible and be able to do all this, but also he comes with a whole bunch of knowledge, and I'm trying to soak it up like a sponge as well. But that's that. We, like I said, Chrysalida has the option. She can do the laundry here on the boat, but we're trying to save water because we don't want to make water in the marina when we get to La Línea, and we'll only have about 4 or 5 hours from here to Gibraltar. So I think that it'd be better that she did it there. So she's going to do that, and I'm going to go help her out. But anyway, that's about that. I think we got what else do we have going on? Yeah, I told you about the Marbella incident. Anyway, so nice to be here. And this one's, I think, it says it was like 28, 29 euros a night, but it's like 32 with all the taxes and fees, which I still think is a phenomenal deal. So very happy, and the people here are really, really sweet too as well. But anyway, that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And Take care. Be safe. And as always, I'll see you on the one.